hairy legs that turn, that.
Welcome to Certified Based, the common sense podcast where liberals crash out.
Those sounds never get old. And welcome to Certified Based.
What?
Yes.
What is that?
What is that? Okay, first of all, this is a rebrand of another show that we had that was called The 100 Show, but then we realized there's a lot of people that have the same podcast called The 100 Show. So we wanted to be different, and I don't know why. I think Certified Base was just a good title. I know. What do you think?
Yeah, it was. So there's a popular TV show called The 100. So that was kind of like overshadowing our show.
Yeah.
So searching it up was hard to find. But I think Certified Base was a good rebrand. It was a good experiment. We did 13 episodes.
We did do 13 episodes, and I think you told me that most podcasts only go up to 5 and then stop.
Yeah. So technically this would be 14, but
this is
2-year hiatus.
2-year hiatus, which we'll talk about our 2-year hiatus in just a second. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Tongue twisters. But first, who are the hosts? Who are we? Okay. So my name is Rudy, and kind of a few things about me. I'm a huge nerd deep down. I'm a musician. I play a couple instruments, and I'm a huge gamer, going around with, and ties in with me being a huge nerd. So that's pretty much sums up who I am.
Yeah. I'm Atreyo, his co-host. Last time, if y'all are new here, but if y'all are coming from the 100 show, in 2 years, well, I'm a dad now. First of all, that's the biggest thing that's changed.
Yes.
She about to be 7 months tomorrow.
That's crazy, bro.
I know, but yeah, a little bit about me. I'm probably a nerd too. My passions are videography, doing that type of stuff, just editing, being creative. I love being creative. I love to do new things, try new things, and just have fun.
Yeah. Well, before we catch up and we talk about our 2-year hiatus, kind of an overview of what this show is going to be. Pretty much, we're going to focus on culture, some politics and current events, and then we'll, within that, we'll kind of have a topic throughout each episode, which I'll kind of give a hint of one of them once we start catching up. But yeah, that's pretty much what you can expect out of this show is current events, culture, which we know that the culture is shifting greatly and has shifted greatly ever since Donald Trump's massive political comeback. Because when we're doing the show 2 years ago, I feel like the culture was a lot more hostile to this kind of show, which still is hostile to probably deranged liberals. But the culture has shifted a lot more, and it seems like a lot more people have come out of their shell. They're not as afraid of coming out and saying, "Hey, I'm a conservative," or "Hey, yep, I voted for Donald Trump." And I feel like 2 years ago, a lot of people used to hide. I mean, we didn't hide, but a lot of people did.
Oh yeah, I think it's just the beginning as well, because we're only a couple months in to this new administration.
Yeah.
But yeah, the culture is definitely shifting. People that previously would have never voted conservative. You could just see by the national mandate in November.
Yeah. This election was a national mandate, and everybody is they put Trump up there. It's like, all right, dude, let's see what you can do. We're gonna give you another chance, but we're voting for this. We're voting for the mass deportation. We're voting for Elon Musk to be in charge of Doge and all that. But I don't want to talk too much into that. We'll get into that. But let's catch up, Betrayal. Let's catch up where we've been in this 2-year
Okay.
hiatus. So 2 years ago, I bought my first home. That's actually when we filmed the last episode. I was closing on my first home because I actually bought another home, and now I'm a landlord to that property. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I was. Another thing is I was about 50 pounds fatter than I am
Yeah.
now, believe it or not. Still am a little fat, and I'm still working on it. I got about, like, I'd say a little under 40 pounds left to reach my goal. But yeah, I was on the verge of being 300 pounds. That is fat and not good. Okay, I actually got fat shamed by a liberal on TikTok when we had our previous show because we posted a clip, and this liberal apparently, you know, did not like what we were saying, and he fat shamed me. I was like, wow, how interesting. I thought you were the party of body
Oh.
positivity. I guess
Oh.
it's only body positivity when you agree with him.
Yeah, bro. Ever since Ozempic came out, the whole like body positivity movement just kind of like
Here's the thing, though.
went silent.
People don't want to make sacrifices in their diet, but they want this, like, magic pill, magic shot to make them skinnier. That's not how it works. You have to change what you eat, which that is a foreshadow to an episode that I do want to do in the future about my journey with weight loss and the body positivity movement and Ozempic and all that crap. But yeah, pretty much to sum it up, that's kind of where I've been the last 2 years. Um, just working, and then working on my health and going through a weight loss journey. But how about you, Atreya? Where you been in these last 2 years?
I've been right here. No, yes, last episode. Um,
You were not a dad,
I was not a dad.
nor was your wife pregnant.
No, nope. It was yeah. We didn't even. We were like talking about it. It was like, yeah, one day we'll have kids. But then, well, we at the same time we just bought our house too, so that was a whole nother thing. We're still there. It's still going good. But yeah, the biggest change is I'm a dad now. I have a beautiful daughter. She's about to be 7 months, like I said earlier.
Very cute baby. I
Yeah,
love that baby.
she's so much has changed, and just whenever you become a dad, just like the world shifts. Like it becomes, seems like it's a lot more dangerous. Like your heart is in the world. That's how the best way I can explain it. Like she's everything to me right now, and rightfully so. Like
Oh yeah,
forever,
yeah,
all
yeah.
kids, parents, you understand. But that's been the biggest thing is me just trying to change, be a good dad, and just be a man, kind of like
Yeah.
just looking at the world today, like the man in the home is it's kind of gone, and it's kind of been like just just taken out of like a traditional home. Like a mom and a dad is vital to raise like a human, and I think that's just the most optimal way.
You're racist and you're a fascist for doing that
I
in
guess
today's
so,
age.
but I'm just trying to give her the best life possible. Got a new job that's been a more recent thing, but it's been good, and life's been good. God's blessed me so much, and I can't take any credit.
That's good, man. And believe it or not, you may think, "Oh my God, is this the first time that they've seen each other and spoken to each other in 2 years?" No, no. Trey and I are, man. I would say best friends, but I think it's
Hmm.
beyond that. We're pretty
Yeah.
much like family.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, him and his wife asked my wife and I to be godparents of his daughter. So it's been awesome seeing her grow. We see her all the time. We hang out all the time. So even though through our 2-year hiatus, we've still been very close. So we're like family, and um,
Yeah. That.
kind of going into the reasons of why we rebranded the show. Rebranded, my God, I cannot talk. Rebranded the show, and we talked about this for months. I mean, Atreo and I were like, "Do we want to do this? Do we really want to get back into this? Should we? I don't know."
Yeah. It's been brewing in the background for a while. Like we always have conversations. Like when do we want to do it? What should we do? What should we talk about? Like,
when President Trump got nearly killed, that was a moment when I was like, we need to get back on this. And I really wish we would have got back on it sooner. Whenever that happened, I was like,
yeah.
I literally got a hold of a trail right away. I was like, did you see what happened? I was like,
It was on the baby shower that day. Remember, you came up to me.
Was that your?
When-
That was his daughter's baby shower.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. You're gonna laugh at me. I was on the toilet when I found out the news, and I was like, "No way!" And I was kind of like freaking out. I was like, "Bro," I was like, "No way! They just killed this man." But no, thank God.
Yeah.
God literally saved his life, and that was kind of one of the pivotal moments of like, I think we need to do this. And I know it's been a while since that happened, but I don't know. I was just like, and we finally just said, you know what? We just got to do it. We just got to do it. We got to get back on it. We just got to do an episode, which is what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's like we just talking about like a lot of things in life. A lot of it's talk, but once you just start, you just gotta do it. Like just get up. Or like when we want to do it, I was just like, we're just doing it. We're gonna do it Saturday. We're filming on Saturday, but we're gonna do it this week. We just gotta do it. We know we'll figure out all the extra stuff later, but we just gotta do it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about what the show is about. Why are we talking about culture, politics, and current events? Why is that important to us? And the reason why I feel like it's important to us is, I mean, you've heard this term, if you don't live under a rock, is that this election, some people call it, this was the podcast election or the Joe Rogan election, because it was, settings like this, podcasts like this, that really shifted the culture and really gave the information that people needed. And that's why, liberal news outlets want to shut down podcasts. They don't want podcasts around because it's taking ratings away from them. People are seeing right through their garbage, seeing that they're a bunch of liars. And that's why they want these podcasts shut down. And I really think that this is why Donald Trump won in the fashion that he won, is because settings like this, it doesn't take a lot to do a podcast. This is a very simple setup. I mean, we're literally in the living room of a house, and anybody can see this. And that's what liberals hate, is that somebody could just be in their basement, bedroom, living room, and give all this information to people and influence their perspective.
Oh yeah, and obviously it was a huge shift. Donald Trump and JD and them doing their whole podcast tour, and that was huge. But
Barron had a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
His
but
son
also
was like, you need to go there.
Yeah, but also the lack of Kamala not doing it was just huge. Like a lot of like the big Joe Rogan and these other ones, they wanted her, they wanted to talk to her, and they weren't gonna like do no got you question. They were just trying to get to know her, but they were so afraid or whatever reason they had, and it obviously hurt the campaign so much.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, maybe people already had their minds up by that because it was kind of late in the year.
Yeah, because she had to replace the dead man.
Yeah, so maybe people had their minds made up, and maybe they didn't really do. But I think giving them the platform to just talk, like it would have been so valuable for her to just talk. Maybe it made it been even worse.
And you can't say, liberals can't say, well, they probably will. They'll be like, oh, well, they were so unfair to Kamala that look how they treated Donald Trump. No. First of all, that's the stupidest take that you could ever make. Okay, look, Joe Rogan wanted to invite Kamala, whatever. I think if you call her one or the other, one of them's racist, but whatever, don't care. Joe Rogan was going to invite her to her show, and we know Joe Rogan's the way he lays out his show. His show is long, 3 hours, sometimes 4. It's very unfiltered and edited, just having a conversation. And Kamala's team's like, no, we only want to do an hour. You're gonna come to us, and Joe Rogan's like, no. This is my show. This is how we outline our show. You're gonna come to me, and this is how we're going to do it. And her team said no. So Joe Rogan's like, all right, well, I guess we won't do a show.
Yeah. I mean, it was fair. Like the same thing he did on Trump. And I heard they wanted like a bunch of people in the room. Like he likes it just the person he's talking to, and his producer in the room, just 3 of them.
Yeah, they wanted to mediate here. You know what's so
Yeah.
funny is that somebody like Kamala Harris, like, yeah, women empowerment, women empower it, but now she needs a man sitting next to her in the room. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you don't need a man;
Yeah.
you could just do it by yourself. Strong, independent woman.
Yeah. And just also
Sorry, strong, independent Indian black woman.
Oh yeah. Well, Candace Owens is like gone on a whole little like documentary investigation of like how she's not black. And she's convinced she's not from another black woman.
How dare you say that? That's racist.
Yeah.
Candace Owens is a white supremacist. I don't know what you're talking
Apparently,
about.
yeah. But another like thing with the podcast and like why we want to start like because we're just like some regular dudes. We don't got no like high credentials of like PhDs or any of this, and like, but that's like another testament of like how just regular people listen to other regular people for news, like these other besides like probably Tucker Carlson because he was in Fox and he was in the mainstream media world, but these like just other people like Joe Rogan. He has like credentials, but like not in like the media and like news sphere and like it's just we're just trying to put the truth out. People are wanting truth nowadays, and like we're gonna be as unbiased as we can. But it's just people want the real deal, and the mainstream media isn't offering that to people. There's the biggest distrust probably ever with the mainstream news and really our government in general. And there's been stuff coming out that they're more linked than.
Just realized we lost camera feed. Hold on.
Oh shoot! Buzz.
We'll get it fixed.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Had technical difficulties already. His camera shut off. We're trying a new system where it'll actually be a lot easier for us to make this content because another reason why it was kind of hard to keep doing the podcast is that we would record it. Atreo's the video guy. I'm the audio guy, so I do all the audio stuff. Atreo does all the visual stuff. So having to, sync up video and it was just,
It's a lot of
it's
work.
tough. But this the way we're doing it is we literally just record it. We stop recording. Maybe we have to make a minor edit, like we're going to have to clip these 2 clips together. But normally, if everything goes all smooth, literally just stop recording, upload it right away, and we're done. So, yeah. And what were we talking about? We were talking about,
Show about podcasts.
Yeah, why we're talking about current events and culture and politics. Pretty much to sum it up is we want to be informative. We want to be another outlet for people to use to get their news, maybe to see what's going on in culture, any trends that we see, whether they're good or bad, in our opinion. Because, like I said, we all have our own opinions, and sadly, we live in a country where you can't have your own opinion anymore. If you don't have the same opinion as me, then you are a terrible piece of that word that I can't say on here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, and I think we also want to like do fun stuff that we enjoy, like fight. Like we're super big into UFC and everything, so we want to do some of that stuff, but mainly inform, also entertain. But like he said, the world is so divided. You can't have your own opinion.
Nope.
And like I think it should like change. Like it shouldn't be so just so like hostile to each other.
Oh yeah,
we should be able to have conversations. Like a lot of us agree on the same things.
Yeah,
it's just what the left and right say. If you're on this team, that team, whatever. But we're all Americans and humans first of all.
And we may even try to get somebody on the show that doesn't agree with our opinion. We could have a civil conversation. It's not difficult to have a civil conversation. I'm sorry if you can hear that. My dogs are outside and they just bark at air. I don't know what it is. They just bark at the most random things. So if you hear that, I apologize. I don't think you will, though, but I can hear them from through my headphones. But here's what you can expect in terms of content and how often Right now, to just start out with, you'll get a full episode once a week. Try to do it on a Saturday, except for the first episode, and we'll kind of see when we upload this. But you can expect an episode every weekend. We'll usually just take everything that we've kind of seen happen throughout the week, any major events, any culture trends that we see on social media that kind of caught our eye. We'll talk about those, and then we'll kind of try to have like a topic that we want to talk about. Like we talked about some things like we want to talk about AI, weight loss journey. I don't know what other ones did we kind of brainstorm on.
Yeah, that. Talked about how bad like pornography can be for males.
That's definitely
a big one.
that I want to talk about because man, some stuff I see on social media, I'm like, man, your brain is destroyed.
Oh yeah, it's
You need to
Yep.
you need to get freed from that. And also, I also want to get this out of the way is where do we get our opinions from? Where do we get our perspectives from? And here's how we get that. First and foremost, Atreo and I are both Christians. We both hold our faith. It's very dear to us. We believe that Jesus Christ, that He died on the cross for our sins, and that He rose again, and He washed us clean, and He lives within us. So that's the first thing that I want to kind of throw out there is that that's where we get our opinions from. We're Christians first before anything else. We're Christians before we're conservatives. We're Christians before we're Republicans. So that's where we get all of our perspectives and opinions from is first we're Christians before anything else.
Yeah, that's should have started with that, but
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
should've.
Yeah,
But I was like, we need to make sure we throw that out there.
that's
That's
where
where we
we're
get it. Yeah.
filtering
Mhm.
our ideas and opinions from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, what has happened lately? Man, it's been crazy some of the stuff that I've seen. I actually get my news from a streamer, believe it or not, by the name of Asmongold. Asmongold is a dude that I've been
Should know.
watching almost daily because he's not really a conservative guy. He's kind of more of a guy that's in the center, but he's kind of based. He's a lot about common sense, and every day he's posting a video about what's happening, and especially about Trump. And Atreo and I discuss this too. President Trump is the first clip farming president we've ever had. What do you think about that? The way he clip farms, bro.
He knows what he's doing. I'm just saying, like
He has to know.
he
bro.
knows.
Like Barron has to be like, Dad, you need to clip farm. Like this is
Yep.
like you are content right now for everybody.
Well, he has these like press conferences, like these meetings so much. Like he's not afraid to talk to the press. And I
Unlike
think
Kamala.
yeah, I just think he takes those opportunities and he's like, all right, I'm gonna make some stuff go viral. I'm gonna say some things. I think he's like he knows what he can say that goes viral.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows what the media is gonna pick up on. He knows what he's doing.
Him and his whole cabinet, man. Tom Homan, like those moments when they'd be like, "Well, how many of these illegal immigrants? How many of these have committed crimes? All of them, because they're here illegally. That's committing a crime."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
what?
my god, yeah.
And it's like, well, you're separating families. What do you do about that? Well, you just deport them all together.
I love that clip. He was talking to AOC in that one, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
she was
easy.
just like,
You deport them all together.
yeah, she didn't know what to say.
God.
Even JD, he's like, he's a smart guy, and he's just
I'm calling it now. We can save this clip right now. JD Vance will be president in 2028. I'll take it to the bank right now. He's up next.
all right.
I really believe that. The dude is smart. I feel like he's like Trump, but much more, lot more self-control, a lot more professional, and he's young. So I really think that he's the guy that's up next in the next 4 years. So
I can see that. A lot of
another
people like
thing,
him.
the what?
A lot of people like him.
Yeah, he's great. Another thing that has been happening a lot is we know our boy Elon Musk.
Oh, That's a hot topic right now.
That is a very hot topic. I feel like this whole Trump derangement syndrome thing. I think there's Elon Musk derangement syndrome.
I think that's more common right now. I think that's a little more severe case than the Donald Trump one.
I agree. Man, the Elon Musk derangement syndrome. I thought liberals loved electric cars. What happened? All right, we are finally back. The camera died. Had lots of issues. We're actually using an iPhone now to record, believe it or not. And iPhone cameras are pretty good. So the next
It'll be better
yeah.
the next episode.
Yeah. So we were talking about liberals. All of a sudden they hate electric cars. What do you think?
I don't get it. They're all I don't know. They're the ones that like are taking on the climate change. They want to, protect the climate. We're all going to die in
Bro, Elon
10
Musk
years.
himself is a big climate guy.
Yeah.
I thought they would have loved the guy. Well, they did until it came out that he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, it's all politics again. Like he's not on their side, so they hate him. Like it's a whole smearing. Like we don't agree with you, so you're the devil. You're Hitler. Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like he did that on purpose to draw. I ain't gonna lie, the whole that was for sure on purpose. It had to be. I think he knew what he was doing.
Maybe.
I'm not mad at him. I think it's pretty freaking hilarious that he did that.
I watched this little documentary about like Elon's like descent. Not like descent. That's the way they framed it was kind of like he was radicalized to be a conservative, and a lot of it. The big one was like obviously with his child that turned trans.
I feel like that was the turning point.
Yeah.
And he became radicalized. I guess you could say. I honestly I don't think he's radicalized because there's.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, today's culture. If you don't agree with the liberal lunatics, then you're a radical. I guess you could say whatever you want to call it, radical. Fine, but
yeah, but it was pretty interesting. Like it documented like when kind of how like he's just been kind of disrespected his whole career. Like when Joe Biden like invited like the top EV companies to the White House, and they didn't invite Elon, of course, because he's the number one American EV manufacturer, or Tesla is. There was some other stuff that like they were like saying that like
you didn't let him save the astronauts.
Yeah, they let him save. He did. Didn't they bring him back?
Biden didn't let him.
Oh yeah, well
Trump did. They were stuck in for like 9 months.
They just brought him back, didn't they?
Yeah, because Trump's like, oh yeah, Trump finally let Elon. All right, Elon, go get him.
Yeah, but there's
But
this
Biden
whole
didn't let
thing,
him.
and it was documenting the Tesla protests and why people don't like Elon, and
Bro,
it was a different perspective. It was kind of interesting.
All right, so finally got rid of that focus mode thing. Okay, so back to what we were saying about space. So Elon went and saved the astronauts, right? They were stuck in space for over 9 months. And Biden didn't let Elon go get him after Elon offered to help. Elon offered to help. And Biden's like, nah. So for political gain and purposes, people were stuck in space for 9 months. What do you think about that? And while you tell me, I'm going to fix this camera angle. It's bothering me. Go ahead.
You're good. Bro, being in space, like, just space is the last place where I want to be stuck. I'll just put that right there. Like, say you're stuck in the desert, you get stuck, like, on a work trip, you're, like, stuck in a city you're not familiar with. Okay, there's people around. You can go get food. Hopefully you have money. Or if you get stranded, like, on a highway somewhere, in the forest, the desert, at least you're on Earth. You can, like, live for a little longer.
Breathe.
Yeah, you can breathe oxygen. But space, man, for 9 months.
That's crazy.
What even went wrong? Like, how'd they get stuck there?
Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about that mission. Sorry. But I just know that they were stuck in space for 9 months. Yeah. And Biden's like, nah, NASA. We'll have NASA do it. Trump's like, nope, Elon, go get him. It'd be funny if Trump's like, yeah, we don't need NASA no more. We'll just stick with SpaceX. How about that?
Bro, what has NASA done in the last, like, 10 years, honestly? Like, do you believe?
DEI probably.
Yeah, oh,
Black
for
black
sure.
trans astronauts.
That's why they haven't done nothing. Okay. Do you think the moon landing is real?
I don't
Starting off hot.
know, man. I don't know. I mean, here's my thought behind it. We had the technology in what is it, in the 60s, 70s, whatever that era, to go out into the moon and come back. But yet I can't get phone service on an airplane.
Yep, that's a good point.
I mean, it's a good point. I
And-
don't know. It may sound stupid, but that's just me. I don't know.
I think there's some validity to like questioning it. Like, obviously we don't have the evidence. Well, I mean, everything points towards we did it, but like we haven't gone back since. Apparently they lost the technology that got us there in the 60s, and there's just a lot of like sketchy stuff. There's like I think it's Van Allen radiation belt that like we can't get through because like there's too much radiation or something.
Mhm.
Look into it. It's very
yeah,
suspicious.
yeah. I need to.
But that's the same NASA today. Like
Yeah.
incompetent is what
Well,
it sounds like to me.
NASA today is probably a bunch of trans astronauts. Is probably what it is.
DEI.
DEI, because it absolutely destroys everything. So yeah, there's a website. I'd have to look it up. I should look it up before we did in the show. But a website where it has locations of Tesla dealerships, and even I think they even have it marked off on the calendar of what days they're going to go and protest,
I'm gonna look this up.
or should I say commit acts of terrorism, because they're literally committing domestic terrorism by burning Tesla cars, okay? And it's literally burning people's property. Not only that, but then you have these liberal idiots who, you know what? Okay. Oh my God. I'm about to crash out. Just talking right now. Do people realize that these vehicles have cameras on them? They can literally, oh my God. People keying Teslas like there's not a cam on it. Like the whole world just saw you do it, dude. We all just saw you key that Tesla. There's literally a video. Oh my gosh, I should have found it. I know which video it is. Maybe you've seen it. There's like this old dude. He's wearing like a biker jacket, and it has like an American flag and everything. And they've literally have caught him. Some dude confronted him. He's like, "Hey, you're the dude keying all these Teslas." And he's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "The Teslas literally have cameras. We caught you doing it. What are you talking about?" And the dude's just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh my God, bro. This guy's retarded.
I think I found the website. It's a action. Should I display the name? Should I tell them the name?
Yeah. We need to know about it.
Actionnetwork.org. Tesla Takedown. Join the March
That's what it's
29
called, Tesla
Global
Takedown.
Day of Action.
Yeah.
But they also it says sell your Teslas, dump your stock, join the picket lines. We're taking Tesla's stock price we're tanking Tesla's stock price to stop Musk. And then look, it has a map of all. I think these are the Tesla locations, like dealerships.
What?
And then look, it has an event list.
Look at this. Hold on. Let me see.
Tesla towers down. Peaceful protest. Here, I can
Explain this while I show this to the camera.
So it has, look, yep, boom. The Tesla takedown, join the march, 29 Global Day of Action. And it explains the event a little there. Sell your Teslas, what I was saying, we're tanking. Scroll down a little. Yeah, there we go, yep. I can't read it, but I can read it. Taking stock, what their goals are. Look.
Look.
Those were all over the world.
All the locations. Look at that.
Uh-huh. Yep, it's crazy. If you scroll down more, it has like an event here in Oklahoma. There's one in Minnesota. It just has like Tesla takedown, all the scheduled protests. That's crazy.
Scheduled acts of terrorism is what it really is.
Yeah.
Burning personal property. And here's the thing. What pisses me off is that, okay, we had January 6th. All right, whatever. Ooh, it's the boogeyman for liberals. Okay, January 6th was bad. People who committed crimes in January 6th, yes, put in jail. Yes, I agree. January 6th was not good. It was bad. I agree to that. Now, when you ask liberal, is it bad to burn Tesla, set them on fire, and possibly kill people? They can't admit that that's wrong. It's like, well, then they're just taking a stand against Elon Musk. I'm like, by burning personal property, right, buddy? All right, sure.
No, it's insane. The left seems like they're like morally bankrupt a little bit. That's what I get.
You said morally bankrupt?
Mm-hmm. They had them.
Oh my God, I don't get it, bro.
Because once upon a time, they were like the anti-war organization. They were like what I'm hearing. Like I haven't been into politics a whole lot, but
I mean,
I'm only 23, so
they're literally committing acts of terrorism.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like
it's like
I don't know how else to put it.
yeah, they're the. I don't know. It makes sense why they support Hamas.
Yeah, they literally support terrorist organizations. They support terrorism, like literally.
Would you buy a Tesla now? In this
I
market?
still want to. I desire to. My wife and I have talked about it. Like even like the beginning of this year, we were literally looking at prices, and we were like strongly considering getting a Tesla. And I mean, I still do.
Has it deterred you from getting one?
No, I mean where we live is in a highly conservative area. So I doubt that it would get vandalized. But if we ever were to take it out of town, go into a big city, we know how big cities are, full of libs.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and I feel like if people stop buying Teslas and people stop driving them, then they win.
Yeah.
They accomplish their goal. That's what they want. They want people to stop driving those cars.
They want to tank the stock.
They want to tank the stock.
I mean, it's just that whole thing. Like that's their goal. Like,
Yeah.
They want to destroy. And in that part of that documentary I was talking about, they're choosing to target Elon Musk because they think he's like a softer target. They know Trump's not gonna budge. Like he's proven himself. Like he's went through hell and back.
No, they can't. They can't. I mean, they literally almost blew his head off on national television.
Yeah.
By inches, actually by centimeters. His head was almost blown off on national
TV.
television.
Somebody pointed out like it's rare for CNN to like broadcast his rallies.
I heard about that one. I heard about that.
That's
one.
interesting.
That's
They wanted to broadcast to the whole world. I mean, it's probably not that much people watching CNN anyways, but they wanted to broadcast that of his head getting blown off.
Yeah. Bro, he was literally that close, bro. That close. Within centimeters of his head being blown off.
Of us being on a whole different timeline today.
Yeah, honestly, I think I really would have hoped that somebody like J.D. Vance would have been president if that would have happened. God forbid. But God literally saved his life. But
Saved the country.
Yeah, literally. I think libs were upset that he didn't die. I really believe that whenever that happened, they were like, "Dang it!"
I saw tweets like, "How do you miss?"
Literally,
crazy.
Literally, people are like, "How do you miss?" So I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Liberals do suck with guns, so I mean, I don't know. You should have found somebody better shot."
There's a whole nother rabbit hole we can go down. Like, if he was like, if the FBI pushed him, there's a whole lot of sketchy stuff surrounding that whole.
That's crazy, bro.
Of like, there's like, I forgot what military base it is, but that first one, the first shooter, and then the second one, they're kind of tied to this military base. Like maybe they were being like trained there, maybe they were being radicalized there. I don't know.
I've heard some stuff sketchy, bro.
Yeah.
But here's another hot topic that we've been saying that I actually have a video that we're going to react to because we're also going to have some react content in the podcast as well. This is also another type of content. We'll upload a full video podcast, unedited, hopefully without technical difficulties, and not sometimes except for this one. But we'll upload that, and then you can listen to that. You can either watch the video on YouTube, you can listen to the audio on Spotify, Apple Podcast, those places like that. Oh my gosh.
You're good. Wherever you listen to your podcast.
Wherever you listen to your podcast. But then we have our React content, which we'll do within the podcast show. Sometimes we may do a React video by itself, but usually we'll do some sort of React within the podcast, and then that will be its own separate video. We'll get that video from the podcast and get into a smaller segment. So if you guys just want to watch the React content from this episode, you want to rewatch it and not have to skip around, then you guys can watch that. But anyways, illegal immigration. Very, very hot topic. And whenever we had our other show, I talked about it. You remember when I said, I guarantee you we're going to have terrorists, criminals pouring through our border. And what do you know?
It happened. I saw a video today of one of the airplanes. I think it was going to Venezuela, but taking all the immigrants back.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was taking a video of the whole plane, and all you saw were like military-aged men. It's like, where did the women and children go? Like that, the media was saying that they're the ones fleeing. Where are they?
People think we're gonna send a 6-year-old kid from Mexico to CCOT in El Salvador. That's not happening. Okay, we're not sending 70-year-old grandma to CCOT. It's not happening.
Yeah, people saying that.
I'm pretty sure. I really haven't heard it yet, but I'm pretty sure somebody has said it. Oh my God, 65-year-old abuela is getting sent to CCOT. And no, they're not. Calm down.
Explain what that is.
Oh, CCOT. Yes, CCOT is pretty much a prison for gang members and terrorists. It's literally the center of terrorism. Actually, would you mind looking that up real quick? Actually, CCOT. I want to see what that. I mean, I guess its original, the original acronym is in Spanish, because the prison is in Salvador. But pretty much Trump and Bukele, who is the president of El Salvador, which has a 90% approval rating. They absolutely love that man over there because El Salvador went from being one of the most dangerous countries in the world with MS-13 to one of the safest. They've completely flipped that country upside down because they gathered up all the criminals and terrorists and said, you know what, you lost all your rights, you're going to go to prison and you're going to stay there and you're going to be treated like trash for it because that's how you deserve to be treated. Since you want to act like an animal, you'll be treated like an animal. So that's what CCOT is. CCOT is a place to send all those idiots to that want to commit crimes and murder people. Did you find the...
Yeah, I found the wiki page for it.
All right, well, take it away, Atreyo.
So CCOT, it's a Spanish acronym, but it's...
I'm going to read it for you.
Yeah, you can read it.
So, Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo. So, pretty much in English, that is a terrorism confinement center is what it is.
Basically. So it was built in 2022 amongst the large scale gang crackdown. So let's get into some how big it is. It holds 40,000 people. But it only has 14,000 right now. So some openings.
It's got lots of openings.
Yeah, it's open January 31st, 2023. Has a population of 15,000 people. Capacity of 40,000. Largest prison in Latin America.
You keep going. I'm going to see if I can find a certain video about this. Keep going.
And it's one of the largest in the world by prisoner capacity. In March 2025, the Salvadorian government incarcerated over 200 alleged Venezuelan gang members in Secot that had been deported to the country by the second Donald Trump administration. The prison has been featured in several videos published on social media by Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele. Secot has been the subject of international media attention, and the Salvadorian government has allowed news outlets entry to the prison. Secot has received praise for its detention of alleged gang members as well as criticism of alleged human rights abuses. So there's tons of videos on YouTube you can find. You can go on Google and look at pictures.
I have one right now. It's
Oh.
about a minute long. You want to watch it?
Let's pull it up.
All right, let's pull it up.
It,
All right, here we go. Oh wait, I need to make sure we get our camera pulled up. Here we go. Here is Secot, the place where we send 7-year-old abuelas, apparently.
And tattoos. These images, released by El Salvador's government, shows the transfer of about 2,000 inmates, stripped to their shorts and with their heads shaved, to what's been dubbed the country's new mega prison. It just opened. It's believed to be the largest prison in the Americas, with a capacity for 40,000 people, and it's the latest step in a controversial crackdown on crime that's caused the country's prison population.
Remember, how many did it only have? Like 14,000?
Yeah.
Oh, we got some openings.
And the
It
soul.
holds 40,000.
Human rights organizations have reported that innocent people have been caught up in the law enforcement campaign. That includes dozens, they say, who have died in police custody. Last year, the country's president asked Congress for emergency powers to temporarily suspend some constitutional rights after a massive spike in murders attributed to gang crime. It includes that arrests can be made without a warrant, and detainees no longer have a right to a lawyer. Private communications of all citizens can also be accessed by the government. Since
How do you feel about them not having a right to a lawyer?
I mean, if you're murdering people and if you're constantly convicted, in and out of the system, you're not fixing your ways. I mean,
Committing heinous crimes like
yeah.
murders?
Yeah, murders, rapes, on innocent people. I mean, there's consequences, man. There's consequences to your actions.
So you feel like those people should lose their right to a lawyer?
I don't know.
Me, I'm like, I think it's a considerable.
Yeah.
It's a considerable point, I think.
Yeah. If you're so far gone, I mean, you didn't learn from your actions.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're saving that person.
Since then, about 64,000 suspects have been arrested. The murder reports fell about 57% last year.
That's
What you
crazy.
see behind me
There's another
is the
one right there.
Another one, but we're not going to watch it because it's 20 minutes long. And
Yeah.
we have some other stuff, but
Yeah, so that's Secot.
that is Secot for sure.
And do you know how? Did it say how the percentage of the crime has gone down? It's like a
It's
insane
a
amount.
significant number. I don't know off the top of my head, but it is practically El Salvador went from one of the most dangerous countries because of MS-13 to pretty much MS-13 is no more. That's pretty much the scale of what Bukele has done in El Salvador.
And it's obviously I'm sure there's some people being arrested that aren't crazy affiliated, but they're hanging around. But what's
I feel like there's gonna be collateral damage
Yeah.
no matter what you do. It's
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
It's just part of it.
but, what route do you want to go? Do you want to protect the innocent people and preserve them more, or do you the rights of the
Yeah.
criminals and stuff? That's a decision you have to make.
Liberals feel like are complaining. They're like, whose side are you on?
Yeah.
We had cases like Lake and Riley, and other young women that were raped and killed
Yeah.
by illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. They're not supposed to be here. First of all, I don't know how you could defend that. And time and time again, you've seen it recently in social media, everywhere. Somehow, liberals end up on the side of defending these idiots. I don't
Yeah.
know how they do it. And like I said, we mentioned with Hamas, they promote terrorism. And there was a professor that got deported somewhere in, I think it was Colombia, that they were all for Hamas, and finally said, "Well, guess what, buddy? Your visa's now gone. Get out."
So this is what I've been like dealing or struggling with myself is like with this deportation stuff. Like obviously, yeah, the criminals get them out, terrorists, all that. But what do you think? Like, because I got my my empathetic side, but then I got my logical consequences brain. Like I see videos of like like a mom getting taken, like getting deported. She's here illegally, and like it's heartbreaking and stuff. Like you got your empathetic side. Like we're human still. Like yeah, that hurts. Like putting myself in their position. Like so, what do you think about that? Like them coming because obviously they're going for all illegal immigrants. So like they said they're gonna target the dangerous ones first and everything, but now eventually they're gonna reach to the moms, the dads. What's your opinion on that? Like, how do you deal with that, like, in your mind?
So myself, this is also part of myself from my family. My mom was born in Mexico, and she migrated to the States. My dad was born in the U.S. Um, but his parents were both born in Mexico. My grandparents from my dad's side, they migrated from Mexico as well. So I feel like I have some perspective about I was
Yeah.
born in the U.S. But I do have a lot of my family that I've immigrated over. Um, and I feel like Democrats for the last several decades, and even growing up, me hearing it on the news, I thought the Democratic Party was like, oh, they're for the immigrants, and they want them to get a path towards citizenship, and they want to make the process easier. Here's the thing: both Democrats and Republicans have done nothing to make the process easier. I've been saying it
Yeah.
for a while. The process needs to be revamped. It shouldn't take 25 years for somebody who wants to have a better life and wants to work their butt off to get into the States and be able to make a living and make a better life. It shouldn't take that long. Um, I don't know how we revamp this process. I don't know. Honestly, I'm like, I don't know how we would do it, but I feel like something needs to be done to revamp the process because it is sad. You do have people that are desperate to come to the States and have a better life and make a life for themselves. But I feel like, unfortunately, right now we're in this situation that so many people have done it the wrong way that now it's made it more difficult for people who want to do it the right way. And here's the thing: um, you have people that get upset that you have actual migrants, legal migrants who've come through here through the legal way, and they're like, "What the hell? I
Mhm.
did everything I was supposed to do. Why does this person just get to cut in line?
Yeah.
I worked my butt off for years to become a naturalized citizen. Why can this person just walk in and just all of a sudden, oh yeah, they're a citizen, they can vote now? Like what?
Yeah. Yeah. That I never thought about that part. Like the people that do it legally, and even America, like what the Biden administration was just handing
Yeah.
over free stuff for
The
these
blood,
people.
sweat, and tears that you shed to become a naturalized citizen, and this bum behind you,
Yeah.
military age man, and from
Uh-huh.
Venezuela, gang member, commits a bunch of crimes, could just walk in. Oh yeah, yep, do whatever the hell he wants. No,
Get cards full of money, free phones,
yeah, free
nice
phones.
hotels.
Taxpayer money. This is why people don't like Elon Musk, Doge, all this fluff and waste that they're finding because our taxpayer money goes to that. You work hard for that, and it's going to some bum from Trendau, MS-13, who they're a bum.
Yeah. I think that's what Americans stood behind Trump so much because he put America first. Like that's what he was running on, putting America first, and I don't know why, like, how you cannot, like, put away, like, your hatred, your bias towards Trump as a person. Like, how can you not get behind putting Americans first? Like, and then the whole argument of, like, we need them to, like, come and work the jobs like Americans like, so we can pay them like slave wages. Like, that's not
Like that lady from The View. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Joy Behar. Somebody, some idiot leftist from
yeah.
The View was like, "Who's gonna clean your toilets? Who's gonna build your houses?" That's pretty racist,
That's
if you ask
insulting.
me.
That's very insulting.
You're stereotyping. Like only Mexicans clean toilets and build houses.
Yeah, and it was obvious, like, these videos of, like, construction sites being, like, empty because they're afraid of ICE. But, like, that's wrong in general because, like, you're not gonna, since they're illegal, you don't have to pay them a living wage. You don't have to apply to or live up to the standards that, like, American citizens have to. So, like, that's just, I don't know. I don't see that's right. Like, they should come into the country, illegally, and then, like, they live like a wage that you can, grow a family, and
They can actually contribute to the
Yes.
economy in the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Trump Gold Card? Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm. I heard something. Yeah.
Yeah, about it's kind of expensive, but pretty much like business owners can like sponsor like their employees. If you're a rich business owner and you got somebody that wants to become a citizen and they're hardworking and they contribute to your company, maybe you should consider sponsoring them and help them get a gold card. It's pretty much like a green card, but on steroids is what it is. But anyways, before we run out of time, I have one more clip that I want us to react to, and I was talking about the professor that was promoting Hamas and thought Hamas was great. And I want you to see this clip right here because it's pretty funny. Title of this video is Trump Denies Re-Entry. Or here, I'll just switch scenes here. And I'll move us over here. Trump denies re-entry to deported professor who attended terrorist's funeral.
Ooh.
Let's see what we got to say about that.
Fox News.
Every day now we're approving visa revocations. If you tell us when you apply for a visa, I'm coming to the U.S. to participate in pro-Hamas events, that runs counter to the foreign policy interest of the United States of America. It's that simple. So you lied. You came. If you had told us that you were going to do that, we never would have given you the visa. Now you're here. Now you do it. So you lied to us. You're out. It's that simple.
The Trump administration crackdown against hate continues.
Seems
The
fair.
DHS announcing that it has denied a Brown University doctor re-entry to the United States because of her support and sympathy for the terror group Hezbollah.
She attended a Hezbollah chief's funeral, a terrorist organization. What do you expect?
I mean, what? What is going on?
Like, how do you defend this? We're going to keep going.
That includes attending the funeral of Hezbollah's former leader. And now the elite school is telling international students and staff to avoid travel outside the United States. Joining us now is Brooke Goldstein, Executive Director of the Lawfare Project. Great to have you here. Here's what DHS posted about Dr. Alawiya. That last month she traveled to Beirut. She attended the funeral of Hassan Nasrallah. He was, of course, a brutal terrorist who led Hezbollah, responsible for killing hundreds of Americans over a 4-decade terror spree. Alawiya openly admitted to this to CBP officers, as well as her support of Nasrallah. A visa is a privilege, not a right, and goes on to say what Rubio said. How does the government fare on this one, Brooke?
I think very well. I don't think there could be a stronger case not to allow someone entry into this country if they've provided allegedly material support to a designated terrorist group. And I think all of the arguments about free speech are very dangerously and intentionally misleading. You do not have a free speech right to come into this country after attending the funeral of a terrorist leader that has
Now, what do you think about that? Do you think it's an infringement on free speech?
Well, she's not an American citizen. She's on a visa, right? So we're letting her be in the country. Okay, she's teaching at one of our colleges, right? She's educating the next Americans that are gonna come up and lead the country or whatever they say. And she's openly supporting the terrorist that is against American values. I don't know that's a no-brainer for me. I mean, what?
Participated in multiple attacks that have killed American citizens. You know, I'm so concerned with Brown University's response here. They are advising their own students not to travel, and they.
Can you imagine being at that funeral and be like, "Yeah, I'm visiting from the U.S. I actually teach at one of their universities."
Like, just like think like, do you? All right, so if you're sending your kid to college, you're paying for it. Would you not mind having your kid that you raised, be taught by like a terrorist sympathizer that like supports them? Like, how would you feel about that? Your kid being taught by one of them?
Hell no. Get them the hell away from that person as far as you possibly can. I want somebody who loves America, who believes in American values, teaching my children.
I agree.
Yep, it's crazy.
Let me play. Saying they're concerned about the pipeline.
Let me put this up on the screen. So this is Brown University. In a letter to students yesterday, it was reported widely that we understand that many in our community are feeling a great deal of uncertainty and anxiety. Out of an abundance of caution, we encourage international students, staff, faculty, and scholars, including U.S. visa holders and permanent residents or green card holders, to consider postponing or delaying personal travel outside the United States.
Just don't go to a terrorist funeral.
I want to ask you one thing, though.
What?
It's not hard. It's not hard. Just don't do stupid crap. Don't do stupid crap. And don't play stupid games, and you won't win stupid prizes.
Mm-hmm. So, Eloise, as I understand it, she did attend the funeral. She said that to DHS. But is attending a funeral considered material support?
Well, we don't know exactly what she did at that funeral, and I would argue, yes, it is. It's not a matter of free speech. You are flying to a foreign country to show your support for a designated terrorist group. And what's so troubling about Brown University's statement is how many people do they have at that school that they're concerned that they shouldn't travel outside the country. They shouldn't be concerned unless they're importing terror supporters as doctors and medical students. And how would this woman even take the Hippocratic Oath when her spiritual leader is Hassan Nasrallah, who has called for the elimination of Americans, who supports the killing of American civilians and Jewish babies, all for the sake of jihad? It's insane what's going on at this university. They should be concerned about the process by which they're vetting the people that they are bringing into this country.
I think the media coverage is also interesting.
If you go to Brown University and you're a firm believer in American values, you should transfer schools.
Look at these headlines. It's just a variety from PBS, NBC, and The Independent. The headlines don't get you into the whole story, but a lot of people just read the headlines, and it says the professor was deported without explanation or despite having valid visa.
She needs no explanation. It's self-explanatory.
Yeah, but look at these headlines. What they're saying. They don't give no context. They're saying that she was deported even though she has a valid visa.
Okay,
so they're trying to. That's the narrative that they're trying to paint.
So let's look at the PBS headline right here, as you see on the screen. Brown University professor deported to Lebanon without explanation despite U.S. visa. What?
Complete bull crap.
Okay, lie, false claim. NBC. Brown medicine professor and doctor deported to Lebanon despite having valid visa, court filings claim. False. Literally leaves out the detail of her attending a terrorist funeral.
But they had to include that she was a medicine professor.
Oh, yeah.
They had to include that.
They had to include that, yeah. Okay, and then let's look at the Independent headline. Deported Ivy League doctor, whatever, will remain in Lebanon as judge hears arguments over Trump ignoring court order. Oh, my God. None of these headlines include the context that she attended Hezbollah's leader's funeral. You guys remember October 7th? You guys remember what happened during October 7th? Literally, Hezbollah, Hamas, practically the same thing. They're intertwined with each other. They both want to exterminate Israel.
And
Yeah.
Americans.
And Americans, yeah. So these 3 headlines, full of crap.
And they're not getting, if you're just scanning the headlines, you might think that this is some sort of rogue operation. This was specific, and she had deleted the photos on her phone in anticipation of there being questions about it. Let me give you the last word.
She deleted photos off her phone. She knew what she was doing.
So she knew it was wrong. Why would you need to hide it? Like if I was going to my family's funeral and like wherever, I'm not gonna delete photos. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I want to remember these forever.
Yeah.
you
She
know?
knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that she
It would be a problem.
was putting her her return to the U.S. at stake, and she lost it, rightfully so.
Well, the truth is she wasn't so much deported as she was denied entry. She was never really allowed into this country. And the question is, what do we want this country to look like? Do we want a country? We cannot have a country if we have complete open borders and there's no vetting and we're allowing terrorist supporters in our country.
Mm-hmm. All right, Brooke Goldstein,
Well,
lots of moving
the whole thing. Like they're in these like positions. She's a professor. She's in a position to talk to hundreds of students, I'm sure thousands, but like why she's like a supporter of anti-American values. Why? I don't know how you don't see the problem of that. Like teaching our kids, our children, you're paying the taxpayer money.
Yeah, you're literally taking American taxpayer money for, well, I think it's private university. I don't know. I don't know if she's taking taxpayer money. I could be wrong. But anyways, she's in America teaching foreign and American students. Okay, and then she goes overseas to go to a funeral of a leader who believes in exterminating Americans.
You don't see the conflict of interest there?
And if you don't, and you choose not to, you're stupid. That's all I got to say.
Parts today. We appreciate you helping us this morning. Thank you.
All right, there is also this. The Trump administration has until noon today to explain the details of the El Salvador migrant flights to a federal judge or submit a reason for not doing so. The judge appointed by President Obama is also facing impeachment efforts by some on the right.
Good.
Former Deputy Assistant DHS Secretary Jonathan Fahey joins me now on all of this. Jonathan, good morning to you. So the latest on this is that the judge wants the Trump administration to answer a bunch of questions by noon today. How many people were on these flights? How many flights were there? Where did they land? But the point is that the Trump administration is now having...
Do you feel like you should be answering those questions? I personally think you shouldn't be answering nobody. You should just do it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, why does he have to answer to them? I mean,
he's the president.
Yeah, they're illegal. They're not in our country. Yeah.
Yeah, they're illegal. They're not in our country. They've been committing crimes.
Bye. Bye.
having to fight in court to get gang members out of this country. So legally, how do you see this playing out?
Yeah, that's a great point, that they are having to fight to kick out gang members. Here's how I expect it to play out. The Trump administration may lose the issue with this district judge who already seems predisposed to rule against them, but they're ultimately going to win in the appellate court and ultimately the Supreme Court if it goes that far, because this Alien Enemies Act gives the discretion to the president to make these decisions to decide if this is an alien incursion and to remove them. The whole purpose of the act was to do this without judicial review, without courts being involved. And, you know, I think the White House has discussed this. If they had to put every deportation of a gang member, of somebody that was invading our country, in front of a district judge, you couldn't even repel these people. And the very big point is, all of this happened because the Biden administration flew all of these people in or brought them in from Venezuela, knowing that many of them were probably gang members and not even vetting for that. So they created this issue, and that was sort of part of the game, is to bring in so many people that deportation becomes just overwhelmingly burdensome. But ultimately, to your question, the Trump administration will ultimately win this issue because discretion is given to the executive branch in this type of issue, issues of war, issues of national security.
Yeah, and also on the deportation front, Jonathan, a Brown University assistant professor here on an H-1B visa has been deported after she traveled to Lebanon last month to attend a funeral for the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, who is responsible for killing hundreds of Americans. DHS posted this on X, saying that she openly admitted to this to CBP officers.
we go ahead and take this video off because they're just kind of
Yeah.
saying some of those stuff, saying some of the more stuff that we already had heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much that sums it up. We have a professor who is a terrorist sympathizer, goes overseas to attend a funeral for the leader of the terrorist organization, and then is denied entry, rightfully so. I don't know how you can defend that. I don't know how you could be surprised about that. Oh my gosh, she has a job here. What is she gonna do? She can figure it out. She can go join Hezbollah for all we care.
So you go on the front lines, be a medic.
Yeah.
Over there. Yeah, just let us know what y'all think about that. I mean, to us it's kind of straightforward.
To me, it's like,
But
oh, bye. Sucks.
Maybe there's another perspective out there we're not seeing, but let us know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what else perspective you want me to see. Like,
I don't know.
what? She has a job here. Guess what? I don't care. She sympathizes with terrorists. If you sympathize with a terrorist, I don't care what else you do. You shouldn't be here. Bye. Get out. Go join Hezbollah. Go be their medical person for Hezbollah. They get hurt. Maybe go be their medical person. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Don't care. As long as you're not in the U.S. Far away from here. Bye.
Well, one less. But like, how can you like put in like a perspective where people like it's closer to home? Like, I don't even know. It's just so absurd.
It is.
What's been allowed in this country? Like, America has a lack of like American patriotism. I feel like because a lot of the people that come into, a lot of people that migrate here was legally, illegally, but they're here. They always rep their home flag, like their country that they came from. Like, I get having the heritage,
I get
proud to be Mexicans.
I'm proud to be
but, like,
Mexican. I have a Mexico jersey in my closet.
Yeah,
but
but
I
like,
wear it.
we're living in this the best country in the world right now. Like, you're here, you're getting great opportunities. Like, I don't know. I don't
understand. Yeah, I don't either, bro.
Like, there's videos people burn the American, like the whole ICE stuff. Like, bye. Go back if you love the country that much. Go live in it.
Yes. If you love Gaza so much, go live in Gaza.
Yeah, it just bothers me is they take all the benefits of America and then with their words they just totally
most of
take
these
a crap
people
on it.
Most of these deranged liberals, they hate America. That's really what it is. They hate America. All right, guys. So we're just about out of time, but before we leave, you can watch this. You can watch this podcast on YouTube. This is the video version. There will be video on Spotify as well. If you want to listen to just the audio, Apple Podcasts and Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Instagram, follow us on Instagram at Based Certified. That is username at Based Certified. So just the title of our podcast, but just flipped around. Some guy had certified based already. Doesn't have any posts. I'm like, what the heck, man? So
we'll get that handle.
Yeah, but share this podcast with anybody that you know, so that way they can be informed. Maybe share it if you have a liberal friend or a liberal family member that might get triggered. Maybe you want them to hear the truth. They can get the truth from us. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching.
Let us know if you have, what y'all want to see in the future for episodes, topics, whatever.
I'm open to suggestions.
Yes, thank you for watching again.
Catch you later. And
Bye-bye.
This is the place where liberals crash out.